everyone, I'm Tommy Robinson, Bassmasters Open Pro from Michigan, and I'm here on the famed Ross Barnett Reservoir in Jackson, Mississippi. And today I'd like to talk about the safety items you would have aboard your boat while you're out on the lake. This video is in collaboration with my good friends at Parts View. So come on, join me, and let's talk about safety. We're going to start with the life jacket. Here I have an Onyx Type 3 life jacket. It is a full-size life jacket. When you are on a boat, everyone is required to have their own life jacket. The Type 3 life jackets are based on your weight. So when you're choosing them, make sure you get the right weight size for you. Also, there are more than one type of life jackets. This one is a inflatable life jacket. And if you look close, this is where it carries a little canister that has to be filled. If it's not filled, then the life jacket is not considered usable. There's a couple of things you need to know about the inflatable life jacket. If you are wearing an inflatable life jacket, you must wear it the entire time you're on the boat, or it's not considered a life jacket either. If you don't have it on the entire time and the conservation officer pulls you over, they're going to write you a ticket. So be sure to either wear it the whole time you're on the boat or choose to wear a Type 3 and you can take it off. The other thing we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about a first aid kit. Now, it's very important to have a first aid kit, whether you cut yourself or get a hook in you, or anything could happen while you're out on the water, and you want to be prepared. And in this first aid kit, we have antiseptic wipes, alcohol wipes, triple antibiotics, hydrocortisone, gouges, pads, and knuckle bandages, and just plain old Band-Aids. So be sure to have that on board as well. We're going to talk about your fire extinguisher. It is required aboard all vessels, and the type that you need is a dry chemical. And if you look closely right here, it's in the green. It tells me it's filled. If it's not filled, it's not going to do you any good if you have a fire. So be sure to have a fire extinguisher on there, and it is required by the Coast Guard. Here's something we don't talk about very much, and that's a paddle. Don't get caught up the creek without a paddle. And people say, Tommy, how can I paddle this big boat? Well, you never know if your batteries die or you have an electrical problem. The paddle is not going to take you all over the lake, but it will get you ashore. So be sure to have a paddle on board. Also, I live in Michigan and I fish coastal waters bordering Canada. In all coastal waters, you must have flares. There's a couple of things you need to know about the flares. Whether you've ever used your flare or not, it is very important to make sure that flare has a use date that is still valid. If it doesn't, then it's no good, whether you've ever used it or not. So be sure to have flares. Also, cell phone. I carry a cell phone. If you're going to be out offshore, you may want a marine radio because cell phone coverage is not everywhere. But on my cell phone, I have apps that allow me to navigate in case my depth finder goes out. It also gives me the water level and many other important items. So be sure to have your cell phone. Look for apps that'll help you while you're on the water. Some of the items you should have on board is running lights. Your bow light should be red and green. The green is for if you have an oncoming boat, they have the right of way. And the red, if they're coming from your red side, you have the right of way. Also, you need a stern light. These lights under low light conditions, it'll help you from getting run over by another boat that may not be paying attention. So it's very important to have them. And it's also a Coast Guard rule that under low light conditions, before dawn and after sunset, you must have these lights and have them turned on. A couple of other items we haven't talked about is a kill switch. This is attached to my life jacket, and the other end is attached to the throttle up here. And that's in case you hit something and it's thrown from the boat. It will automatically cut your engine off when pulled. I'll crank the engine up so you can see. Say you're running along and you hit something and it throws you out. Because it's attached to your body, it's going to cut your engine off so it doesn't run back, the boat doesn't turn around and run over you. That's what happens when it's unmanned and still running. Also is a horn. I have a horn on board, but if you don't, then you should get one of these air horns. And you need that to let oncoming boats when you're passing or coming, and you need to let them know. Last but not least, this is a personal flotation device. It does have a rope tied onto it. This is in case you don't have a life jacket on and someone falls overboard. You can take this flotation device, pick it up, toss it overboard, and they can grab a hold to it, and you can pull them back to shore. This is required by the Coast Guard. Okay, that concludes our safety tips for today. So I hope you'll take these tips, be safe on the water, and enjoy your time while out boating. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to parchview.com and give us a big thumbs up. Thanks for visiting with us today.